I went to sell the company, got two offers, both $3.5 million from two franchise companies. April of 2000, if you remember, the internet bubble burst. I was supposed to close in June. I lost everything in about 30 days.
Oh, wow.
And we're talking like $80 million, everything. It was a really bad day.
Yeah.
So I bawled my eyes out for 3 days.
Mm-hmm.
Tried to keep the company going for a year. And all my friends were like, Mitch, get your real estate license. You'd be great at real estate. I'm like, I don't like realtors. Why would I do that? So anyways, I was broke. I really had $14,000 in the bank. And my buddy Joe from Boston said, Mitch, get your license and I'll help you out a little bit. We'll start a management company. We'll buy a couple properties and I'll pay for them. And so he did that. But it was easy. I sold 36 homes my first year, 50 my second year, 80 my third year, 80 my fourth year. I'm like, I don't really understand the difficulty of selling homes. I didn't know anybody here. And I still sold 36 homes my first year.
Wow.
And then I started my brokerage in 2005. And we went from 6 agents to 120 in 2016. And finally, I was also at the time, I owned a company called Inside Sales Agents. We did internet lead conversion, brokerages all over North America. And because my background is internet lead conversion for real estate, I've done a lot of that. I've known as the Godfather of lead conversion, which is really funny. Originally, they wanted to call me the grandfather, but I'm like, that sounds too old. So it's the Godfather. Yeah. It's like for my Jewish Italian friends. And so I went to look for a solution. So my solution for other business, I just sell them. I was working 100 hours a week. I was 55 years old. My parents both died in the late 50s. Most of my relatives died in their 50s. And I just kind of freaked out of what happens if something happens to me. The hard part about this brokerage is never an exit strategy. Right? Yeah. So I really did it. I have a granddaughter with a rare disease who's now the lead singer in my rock band, which is kind of cool. And EXP lets me have the time to play in a rock band. Pretty cool. Yeah. And so I went to sell the company, got two offers, both $3.5 million from two franchise companies and major companies. And, when you get down to the final negotiations, they give you a little bit of money now, a little bit of money the second year. And I can't say on camera what I actually said to them, but I basically told them no, because it wasn't, I know there's some nice people out there and I don't want to swear. I literally got off it was a meeting, walked out of the meeting with them. In the next 7 days, I fired 50 agents. All my agents weren't selling houses. They were costing me the most amount of money. I called Jason Gessing, the CEO of EXP, because I'd already met with Jason 3 times before, because I love the concept. I always loved the model, but my ego was in the way. I'm Mitch Ribak. I'm the big guy. I'm only 5'6", so I have to really be a big ego, right? I just got the phone with the broker I was helping join the company now, and she's like, lost $7,500 with her 10 agents last year. So that's very typical of a lot of brokers. And I was making a living, but I also had my coaching business, and I also, I had my books that were selling, so I stuff that was out there. That's the only way I could sell. And I sold homes still. So anyways, I met Jason up in New York at Inman in January 2017. And my biggest problem was Tropical Realty was a big company here. So I said, I don't know how to deal with that from an ego standpoint, from a branding standpoint. Everybody knows who we are. I'm like, that's it? He goes, yeah, that's it. So I came home and had a conversation.
Keep the brand, keep all that stuff. Yeah.
So I came home and had a conversation with my wife, and it was a really interesting conversation. My wife's been corporate her whole life, so she's not an entrepreneur. I'm like, let's figure it out. Let's do it. And so she said, well, first of all, I told her about who they were, and she's Googling everybody. Who is this Glenn Sanford guy? And doing that because she's doing her homework. And, remember, all she heard was, we have a $3.5 million offer on the table. So I said, here's the deal. And she said, well, what do we have to lose? I said, we don't have anything to lose, so let's do it. So she bought in. I was totally blown away, by the way, that she actually did that, because she's way more cautious than me. Yeah. That's why we were broke up until that point, because I always took risks, right? Yeah. And this was a huge risk, because at the time, no broker had ever switched over of my size. There were a couple of smaller brokers, 5 agents. Went and talked to 30.
And how big were you at that point, right there?
Now we're 65 agents. We got rid of 100. Wow. We had 120. We got rid of 50. Talked to my 34 top agents that did 92% of the business, and said, "Look, if we don't like it, we'll switch back." That was the ongoing messaging. Look, if we don't. And remember, back then there was 50 agents in Florida, and only 2,800 in the country. So it wasn't like everybody was like, ESP who? Yeah. Anyway, so long story short, I'm making it very long, but we switched over in June of 2017 with 40 agents. We lost 25 in the switchover.
Okay.
Again, nobody heard of us. 19 of those 25 never sold a house. Of the other 6, 3 of them have now joined us. We're going to hit 1,700, I think, today. We're going to hit 1,700 agents today. 45 states, 7 countries. I went from working 80 to 100 hours a week. I work 35, maybe 40 hours sometimes, which is an entrepreneur. That's a part-time job. And like I said earlier, I play in a rock band with my grandkids, which is amazing. I'm a better husband. I mean, that's my relationship is completely off the charts better now
Right.
because I'm present now. When I had my brokerage, I was never present.